there is this aspect of actually being guided by a narrative that can actually speak to people's existing values rather than trying to superimpose a new set of values onto society. And the best way that I can sort of explain why or how this is important is the freedom to marry movement. So the kind of the LGBT movement in the US was not having a huge amount of success with the kind of rights-based narrative because it wasn't resonating with half the population. But when they changed their narrative to, freedom to love, to commit, to have a family, I think within like 10 years or 11 years, they were able to succeed in terms of the right to marry. And I think, so we are trying to come up with what is the story that's going to reach people currently when it comes to animal freedom. And, the go vegan message is not going, we don't think it's the ideal message because it actually, going against sort of liberal and sort of individualistic values of like the freedom of choice, basically. So we often joke that we're going to end up with a narrative of like, animal lovers or something like that. But that's kind of yeah. And I say this, there's a lot of, we want to do quite a bit of research around how people actually talk in different demographics, different sectors of society talk about animals currently. One of the roles we're advertising for is a corpus linguist who can actually do that research work. So I think that's quite an exciting project that we're on. So it's the story-based strategy, and that's also, we want to develop that in relationship and in collaboration with other organizations within the movement, because there's no point in us coming up with like what we think is a great narrative and nobody else is sort of buying into it. So it's kind of like, what is our equivalent of Black Lives Matter? Right. For the animal movement, that we can kind of, as a wider movement, sort of get behind. We don't have to get behind the exact right vision, like one vision, but it's like, what is the narrative that we can all get behind and push?